Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Today's a great day in the city of Phoenix as we're able to announce the appointment of Chief Joe Yahner as the permanent chief for our city. Not only did the chief play a critical role in ensuring that the Super Bowl was a great success, he's been leading the Phoenix Police Department with pride since late last year. Joe Yahner is another great Phoenix story. He grew up at 27th Avenue in Glendale and graduated from Washington High School. District 5, that's right. Both his father and his brother were Phoenix police sergeants, and he began with the department 30 years ago, worked his way up ever since. You'll hear a little more about that. I think Chief Yahner would be the first to agree that great leaders are only as great as their team. And the Phoenix Police Department is made up of hardworking, talented men and women who serve their community every day with pride. The world saw that during the Super Bowl, but the mayor and council and I see that every day, all the work that the incredibly dedicated team at the Phoenix Police Department does. We have a lot to be proud of when it comes to public safety, and we have a lot of work ahead, including stepping up our efforts in community outreach. Luckily for Joe Yahner and for the community, we have added Marshall Franklin to our team as Police Community Affairs Director. She and Joe and his leadership team have already begun touching base with the community to start enhancing our community outreach process. And even looking around the room, I see some of our friends here today. Julian Nabozny, I think the chair of the Hispanic Leadership Advisory Team for the Chief, and also Gail Knight, who has been active in the community. So we are committed to that. We also have members of our union leadership who are here also in support. But I can't think of anyone better to lead the Phoenix Police Department than Joe Yahner. And I also know that the department is in great hands with him as our chief. At this time, I would ask our mayor, Greg Stanton, to make some comments.
All right, thank you very much, City Manager Ed ZUERCHER. And we have a quorum of the City Council here today because all of us at the elected official side of things here at the City of Phoenix are excited about today's announcement. Councilman Thelda Williams, Councilman Michael NOWAKOWSKI, who is chair of our Public Safety Subcommittee, Councilwoman Laura Pastor, who represents Central Phoenix and West Phoenix, District 5, Councilman Danny Valenzuela. Yes, the chief did grow up in District 5 and attended Washington High School. Councilman Bill Gates, Vice Mayor Jim Waring. We have to be very careful to talk nothing else except what's on the agenda so we don't get in trouble with the Attorney General for violating quorum. But we are, so many of us are here because we are excited. And yes, it is difficult for this Cortez cult to say nice things about a Washington Ram here, Chief Yahner, but this is a great day in our city. Look, Chief Yahner is well respected across the board. You talk to our key neighborhood leaders, they love Chief Yahner. They've worked with him throughout his 30-year career in law enforcement. You talk to leaders across this city, they believe that Chief Yahner is so well respected. You talk to our business community, they know and respect Chief Yahner. And you talk to our rank and file police officers represented here by leadership of Phoenix Law Enforcement Association. They've worked with Chief Yahner throughout so many years. He is well respected across the board, and of course by myself and the elected officials of this city. We've had a chance to work with Chief Yahner for many years. So he's someone that can bring the diversity that represents the city of Phoenix together and in support of him and in support of this great institution, the Phoenix Police Department. I know Chief Yahner brings to this job an attitude, an understanding that this is the best police department in the United States of America. It was that way yesterday. It was that way. It is that way today. It's going to be that way tomorrow under his leadership and future leaders. And what we're going to expect from him is to take that department to even greater heights during the time that he serves as permanent chief of this department. We expect him to work closely with the community, and that's exactly what the community is going to get. In his 30 years of service within the Phoenix Police Department, not only did he lead the way on this last Super Bowl, he led the way the last time the Super Bowl was here in 2008. He led the way in terms of big event management for the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. He led the way on public safety when it came to the opening of light rail and other major events. So he has led this organization through some of the major events that we've experienced over the last few years. He served as the executive assistant to the chief since 2009, which is kind of the right-hand person, the operations manager for the entire department during that time. So he has served at the highest levels and obviously on the street as well. So he is the right person for this job, and we are here to show as much support as we can for him, the job that our police department is doing with our near record low crime rates in the city of Phoenix, and here to really just say congratulations, Chief Yahner. We look forward to working closely with you, and I think you are up next. I don't know the speaker. Yes. Michael, I'm sorry. I apologize. I mentioned him earlier. I wanted a representative of the council to speak as well. The chairman of our public safety subcommittee, my partner on issues relative to public safety in the city of Phoenix, Councilman Michael NOWAKOWSKI.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, today is a great day for the city of Phoenix. We're honoring a man who has given 30 years of his life to the Phoenix Police Department, a man that was a commander, that reached out to the community, that understands the importance of community involvement, making sure that neighborhoods are heard, a person that was right hand to our chief and was an acting chief for 2 times in his career. And today, we are finally making him our permanent chief for the city of Phoenix, and what an honor. And you know, I'd like to thank Joe for all his leadership, because basically during his reign and during his leadership, we've reduced crime in the city of Phoenix. And that's really the hard work of Joe Yahner and all the police officers, all the men and women in uniform. But I want to give a warning to all those men and women in uniform that Joe Yahner was brought up at St. Simon Jude Elementary School by some Irish nuns, and they're tough. So if you think you're going to get away with anything, he was taught to be a servant leader, but at the same time, he was brought up to be tough. So I believe Sister Rayfield's still there. And one of the things that Joe did as acting chief just a couple weeks ago, we had a public meeting. We took the public safety subcommittee out to Cortez School. I'm not sure who graduated from there, but he heard the community, and that's the type of leadership that we have. A person, no matter if it's good times or bad times, he will reach out to the community and let the community be heard. So with that, congratulations, Chief, on behalf of the council and myself, and we're proud of you, Chief. And I'd like to introduce our city manager back up here.
Thank you. So I will present to you all officially for the first time the permanent chief of the city of Phoenix. Joe, if you'd come up, and I will hand to you your chief's badge.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
And invite the mayor to council.
And thank you all for the very nice comments. And I want to thank Ed ZUERCHER, first and foremost, for appointing me to this position. It is truly an honor to serve this community and to work with the men and women of the Phoenix Police Department. You heard a little bit about me, some of it good, some of it bad, but as you know, I'm a Phoenix native, and I've been with the Phoenix Police Department for 30 years. I've had an opportunity to work in a variety of assignments throughout this city. Again, I was hired in 1985. It was mentioned in 1999 I was promoted to commander, so I've been a member of the command staff with the Phoenix Police Department since 1999. I had the opportunity to be the acting chief on 2 different occasions, the first time from March of 11 till May of 12, and then most recently at the end of this year, or into last year and the beginning of this year. From a very early age, I've developed a great respect for the Phoenix Police Department and the men and women that work here and work and serve our community. As was mentioned, my father was a Phoenix police officer. He retired in 1989 as a sergeant, and he spent 30 years with this organization, and I'm proud to have followed in his footsteps. And his dedication to the department and the community was passed on to both me and my brother. And my brother also served 30 years as a Phoenix police officer and retired as a sergeant about a year and a half ago. So I've had the opportunity to witness the men and women of the Phoenix Police Department perform at the highest levels, making sacrifices in both their personal lives and professional lives to make this department great. And we have a great Phoenix Police Department. With that said, there's some things and some challenges that we have to focus on in 2015. And there's 5 specific challenges that I want to just touch briefly on, and I can provide more information on them later if you desire. but first and foremost is crime reduction. We've done a great job in crime reduction this past year, and I'll talk about some numbers in a minute, but I have to mention the Super Bowl, and I have to mention our fire partners. The Super Bowl was great, and if you had an opportunity to participate in those events, downtown, light rail, the way the city came together, the way the community came together, the way the law enforcement community came together to make all those events throughout the city, throughout the county, all the way out in Glendale and all the way out to the open, everything went great. So that's a safe, secure environment, and the men and women of the Phoenix Police Department stepped up and not only handled the things on the street, but we, along with fire, were the coordinators for the region. We had a MAC, and some of the council people toured the MAC, which is a multi-agency coordination center. We led that. Phoenix led that. So very proud of our actions in the Super Bowl. And I could talk on and on about great police work that we've done. A lot of police departments are gauged on their crime stats. In this last year, 2014 numbers are in, and if you compare 2014 total Part 1 crimes to 2013, we have a reduction of 5.6%. And what that means is almost 4,000 fewer victims of crime in the city of Phoenix in 2014 compared to 2013. So that's a big deal, and we're very proud of that success. Another topic we're going to focus on, and it was mentioned earlier as well, is our community engagement and outreach efforts. We're committed to community-based policing. We're committed to listening to the community and adjusting what we do based on our community needs. Effective Monday, and Mike Kurtenbach's in the audience. Effective Monday, 2 days ago, I increased staff in our Community Relations Bureau so that we have a more consistent, focused effort within the Phoenix Police Department to reach out to our community, to communicate, to gather information, and to make changes on how we do business so we can meet the community needs. Also mentioned earlier, I want to recognize Ms. Marshall Franklin. She's going to help me and the Community Relations Bureau reach out and communicate better so that we can serve your needs. I can't emphasize enough community engagement and outreach. We cannot make our city safe without the community, and we need your involvement. Another topic we're going to focus on, and we're almost there, we're hoping to roll out a structured training program for our officers. Our officers are very well experienced, and they're well trained, but we haven't had a structured training session in a couple of years, and we want to bring that back. We're bringing back a 40-hour block of instruction so that our officers have the tools to be successful and the tools to be safe. Some of the topics we're going to talk about in training are situational and tactical analysis, use of force issues, cultural consciousness, and mental health disorders, response, and scenarios. Those are going to be the curriculum in our 40-hour module. Very much looking forward to that, hoping to roll it out in April of this year. Technology, and there's been some articles in the paper about our RMS system. We are on the verge of going to probably, not probably, the biggest undertaking from a technology standpoint ever in the Phoenix Police Department. We're about to implement what we call an RMS system, a records management system. That system houses all our data, all our reports, all our combination FI cards, field interrogation cards, arrests, warrants, citation. That system is huge, and if once we implement it, we will be more efficient, we'll be able to retrieve information better, and it's time critical because we have to get it done because our old system is 30 years old and it's just not functionable anymore. So we're really looking forward to enhancing our efficiency through our records management system. And then lastly is sworn hiring. Through the support of the mayor, city manager, and the council, we're going to increase our hiring in 2015. In fact, we're scheduled right now to hire 55 officers in 2015. We have 15 that start the academy on March 2nd. It's just the beginning. There's going to be more hiring in the years to come, and developing and enhancing our workforce at the line level is critical to our future. So also, as we move forward in our hiring, we'll recruit from all segments of our community so we get the very best candidates. In closing, I'm honored to have this job. I'm very proud of the men and women of the Phoenix Police Department. And again, I want to thank Mr. ZUERCHER for appointing me to this position. So thank you. Thanks, sir.
I think with that quick articulation, you can see why it is that Joe Yahner is the right choice for the chief of the Phoenix Police Department.